What's going on, everyone? So Rob Pelinka did a fantastic job over this trade deadline and like the week or so leading up to the trade deadline of just completely restructuring this Lakers roster. We turned a bunch of guys that just weren't really working, that weren't really getting the job done, that were a little clunky, didn't really make a lot of sense, to a team that's just like full of like, wait, this guy can all have a impact and actually be a real key contributor, not only this season, but going forward. And I think a lot of Rob's moves personally were not so much just about this season. Obviously, he gave us an opportunity to go and try to make a real push to get into the playoffs, but very likely with the guys that they got, the team has control over those guys for the next several seasons, if they want to. That the flexibility was more so of like, okay, let's evaluate these guys this season, carry over into next season. Then we have, the rest of the season, a full off season, a full training camp, and a full preseason. And then we can get off to the races. Maybe we, tweak a piece here and there. But for the most part, we're ready to go. We got our team for the foreseeable future. Right? You got enough talent around LeBron James and Anthony Davis to really make a push. But beyond doing the whole trades and stuff, Rob Pelinka recently did a couple of interviews to just dive in and explain his thoughts on just the whole process, the buyout market and Russell Westbrook. So I wanted to go over a couple things that he said that I thought were pretty interesting. And obviously, we'll start with Russell Westbrook. And this is what was said. So, I think when we made the Russell Westbrook trade, we did it with the hopes of bringing a championship, having a big three. And clearly, we fell short of that. But when something's not working as a general manager, it's your job to fix it. He also added, no one has a perfect track record. But when you feel like a team isn't performing the way it's supposed to, you got to rearrange the parts. And that was sort of what we did at the trade deadline. Also further added, despite discussing the trade, Pelinka spoke highly of Westbrook. Now that said, Russell Westbrook was a consummate professional and had great games as a Laker, and we enjoyed having him as a Laker. Only time will tell if the Lakers will become a championship contender this year. So obviously Russell Westbrook, the experiment didn't work. However you feel about Russ, look, he did a lot that many people didn't believe he would do. He completely sacrificed and changed his game in so many ways. He had some real bright spots, some real bright moments, but it didn't work. I don't think Russell Westbrook is a bad player. I do think he still has a lot left in the tank, and I do think he's a guy that in the right situation could really have an impact. It just didn't work with the Lakers. It just didn't fit. And his contract, which again, is not his fault, right? He was offered that contract several years ago and signed it, and he didn't force the trade to the Lakers. But what it did is it basically unloaded all the pieces we needed, right? The Kyle Kuzma, the KCP, things like that. And the only way we were able to get that back was by trading Russell Westbrook, right? To go get a Malik Beasley, a Jared Vanderbilt, a D'Lo, things like that, right? And so Russell Westbrook, the idea made a lot of sense. It was just the fit in the player, right? Like D'Lo makes a lot of sense next to LeBron James and Anthony Davis. LeBron James wants to play off the ball more. D'Lo is a guy that can handle that and be the primary ball handler at times if you need him to. But he also is a guy that can play off the ball, knock down shots at an efficient clip, and work alongside of LeBron, rather than a guy like Russ who he's very similar to LeBron in the sense of like he likes to slash, not a great shooter, playmaker, can rebound, defend, he, as however you feel about it, he was a serviceable defender this year. If anything, that was one of the big bright spots this season was defensively, but he just did, it was like having two of the exact same player on the roster, and neither of them could really shoot. So that didn't really help. It was clunky. There was all the controversy going on behind the scenes, just the toxicity, all of that stuff. Now, personally, I don't like the slander on Russell Westbrook personally. Now, whatever conflicts, whatever issues you had in the locker room, whatever just issues you had with Russell Westbrook himself, at the end of the day, he made the sacrifices. He did what was necessary. He tried, right? And it didn't work. It was frustrating at times. I'm sure he didn't really want to do it, but at the end of the day, he still did it. He was, like Rob said, consummate professional. But to then, once he leaves and is traded, to basically just attack his character, not really big on, because it's just a bad look. That's not what we represent as an organization. I don't like to see that. I don't like to see the Lakers make those types of just slander remarks towards guys, because it's a bad look for future players and future pieces. One of the big reasons LeBron came to the Lakers was because of how they treated Kobe. And a lot of people didn't want Kobe to be paid. A lot of people didn't really make sense. And I mean, to be fair, to a degree, it didn't. You max Kobe Bryant and he's coming off an Achilles. He's not the same player, his age, all of those things. But you weren't winning anytime soon. You were rebuilding. It didn't matter. The Lakers made the right decision because it was like, this isn't about, like, Kobe gave us everything. If anyone deserved that contract, it's Kobe Bryant, right? But beyond that, it was, let's show what we do to stars at the, like, you come to the Lakers and you're good to us, you're loyal to us, you take care of us, we are going to make sure we take care of you. And LeBron James, towards the end of his career, said, I want to go there and I want to do what Kobe Bryant did. And he did. And he won a championship. And now the hope is we can win another championship. And the Lakers gave LeBron James a max contract. But what it does is it paints that picture of, if you're a star and you come to the Lakers, you're going to be treated as such. You're going to get that treatment. And that is a good signal for future stars to return to the Lakers. But when you have an issue like Russell Westbrook, well, now the picture becomes, so if it works and you're closer to LeBron James or Kobe Bryant, you're going to get treated like a king. But if you're closer to Russell Westbrook and you're terrible and you don't fit, we're just going to throw you under the bus. That's not good. That's not what you want. And I'm not saying it came from the front office. I'm not even saying it came from ownership. Could have just been some random person. We don't even know 100% if the rumors are true. Patrick Beverley on his podcast did kind of touch on, like, it was kind of chemistry issues, like guys weren't working, but that doesn't mean that guys were like trying to kill each other or that it was this big toxic mess. When you're not winning and you're losing and things are going bad, it's hard to get along. Like the 2020 team, that team was winning. That team was the best team in the NBA in every facet. So it's really easy to have a good time and like each other and everything's great when you're winning. When you're, a bottom feeding team, it gets kind of rough. And you're looking around the locker room and you got me, you got LeBron James, you got Anthony Davis. Like, why can't we win here? And then, fingers start pointing and it becomes a mess. But regardless, at the end of the day, the experiment didn't work. I wish Russell Westbrook the best. I really want him to have success, not at the expense of the Lakers, but I'd like to see him go to a situation where he thrives. If it's the Clippers, then sorry, man. That's it. That'll be the end of my bromance for Russell Westbrook. But I do. I want to see him have some success, and we'll see. We'll see how he does in the future. But I am glad where the Lakers are at currently. But next up is what he has to say about the buyout market. So with the available spot, the possibility is there for the Lakers to make an addition, and Pelinka says that the front office will look into it if they see ability to fill a need. He didn't necessarily say it as a certainty, though, via Jovan Buha of The Athletic. Here's what Rob had to say. If we see the right opportunity to fill a need in the buyout market, we will take a look at that. But I don't want to definitively say that we'll sign another player. We feel like these 14 players will fill a need that Darvin was looking to fill, and he was excited about these 26 games we have to coach these 14 guys. So Again, buyout market. Who are you really gonna get? Like the whole thing is like, if the Lakers do get something in the buyout, it's very likely just a veteran presence. Because the only real veterans that they have is like LeBron and AD. Everyone else is like super young. The average age of our roster now is 26 years old, I believe, or 27 years old. And that's counting LeBron, right? Who's basically a dinosaur in NBA standards. So we have a very young, very talented team. And so who are you going to get in the buyout market that's going to come in and take minutes from these guys? Probably nobody. So anybody in the buyout would just simply be that roster filler, a guy that just comes in is like your Jared Dudley type guy, which I'm not completely against. I wouldn't even mind if you could get, like, just throwing it out there, like, say, a Kevin Love, right? Veteran guy, come in, has a relationship with LeBron. If you need him to play, he can play, but he's him accepting the role of like mentor to like maybe some of the young guys, some of the big guys, something like that, right? I wouldn't mind going and getting a guy like that. Danny Green would have been great, but looks like he's going to the Cavs. Somebody like that come in, he's won championships. He knows what it takes. He can work with some of the young guys, help them develop a little bit more, kind of just be that veteran guy. That would have been nice. But with the trades and the pieces we got, there's just not really any room anymore. Darvin Ham is going to have to fill and figure out this roster. He's going to need to see what pieces fit. How is he going to go? I'm not really thrilled about the Schroeder and D'Lo next to LeBron. I understand the idea. It makes more sense without LeBron in the lineup, but now that LeBron is returning, personally, I don't think it makes a lot of sense. I think that they should have Schroeder off the bench and playing that six-man role. But nonetheless, Darvin Ham appears to be going that direction. So we will see. We will see how that works out. We will see how he approaches the remainder of the season. And hopefully we can rattle off some wins. We need to go on a win streak badly. We're not out of it yet. We are still in the ballpark as far as, potentially getting to the playoffs. And then once we're in the playoffs, who knows, I like how we match up against all the teams in the NBA, especially in the Western Conference. I think we could beat any team in the Western Conference, especially with the team and roster we have now. But this was more of a move for the future. In the same article, you had Rob Pelinka kind of briefly touch on that, and he basically talked about how he has this has flexibility going forward, right? Jared Vanderbilt is on a reasonable team option. Malik Beasley on a $16.5 million team option. You got, D'Lo, they can work out an extension with. If they want to see him, Mo Bamba has like $10 million non-guaranteed, so they could kind of work that out. So it kind of goes over and highlights those things too. Rob Pelinka made these moves not just for this season, but for the foreseeable future. Like I mentioned earlier, it's about the rest of this season, off season, preseason, training camp, all of those things, and then see, okay, what else do we need? Anything else? Maybe make a slight trade, or maybe you sign a piece. Like maybe you could get like that Malik Monk or that Lonnie Walker type player, a young guy that could come in and kind of add to your core that could maybe make an impact on a reasonable deal and as a prove-it deal, something like that. Kind of figure it out, kind of work it out. But these players, the Lakers didn't go and acquire all these guys just for this season. They acquired these guys very likely for the long haul, and this is very likely going to be our team for the foreseeable future, which I am all for. I am excited for, and I really think we could turn this season around. But anyway, as always, is a discussion, so I pass the question on to you. Let me know your thoughts and opinions down in the comments below. What do you think? What did you think of Russell Westbrook's time with the Lakers? Are you glad to see him go? Do you wish that it would have worked out? Personally, I would have loved it. I would have loved to see Russell Westbrook come home, come to LA, and Lakers win a championship. That would have been an awesome story to tell. That would have been so much fun to be able to do a live stream or have some talk where it's like, man, Lakers just won the championship. Russell Westbrook, he got his first ring. LeBron, number 5. Like, it would have been cool. It would have been awesome. Unfortunately, it didn't work out like that. But now we got these new players, got this new freshness, got this new excitement. Hopefully, we're running in the right direction. But as far as the buyout market goes, what do you think? Is there anybody specific that you like? Do you kind of agree with me that, like, yeah, probably not sign anybody, and if you are, it's just going to be a veteran presence to kind of come in, because who's out there that's going to get minutes over the guys that we got? However you feel, whatever your thoughts are, love to hear it. Let me know down in the comment section below.